1, 2, 3, 4. Like a Tesla is the kind of car that European connoisseurs would want to drive. Which is kind of unheard of. One, 2, 3, and 4. And then we slope down. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, chopping down this tree. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, sorry, missed some conversation there. Oh, did you? I didn't say very much. I was saying that a Tesla is actually a good car that Europeans would want to buy. I mean, in the end, the way to... Yeah, you didn't miss anything. The way to do well really is to just make good products, right? Like putting a tariff on your competitors' goods. It doesn't make your products any better. Alright, so we bridge across this, and then we bridge across to there. Let me think about this. Alright, let's come in from the other side now. Seems cool to come up here. There's floating blocks. Straight through, straight through. Okay, not straight through. Here? Diagonal. Not sure. Not sure. Alright, let me just come through here. Do we ramp up to here and then tunnel through? No. No. I think I need to tunnel through from this side to make sure. Also need to make sure we miss the lava. 3, 4, and 5. Into there, into there. Well, if we know that we're gonna come through here, not sure what to do about this. Should probably like curve in there, which let's say we put it at that level. block across. At this level, some of these trees will have to go. Giant bridge across here, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What are Trump's businesses? Trump's businesses, hotels, beauty pageants, golf courses, branding. Still trying to figure out what the business case is for these tariffs. Although sometimes you can use legislation to extort money from businesses, which is kind of bad. But given the American political system, there's lobbying money, right? So if you propose, for example, a change to remove net neutrality, for example, then businesses like Google and Apple and Amazon and things, they have an interest in maintaining net neutrality, and so then they will lobby the politicians to try to gather support for net neutrality, which means spending money on the politicians' campaigns and such. And so then basically you're just proposing laws for the sole purpose of getting them to donate money to you. And then like you're not really serious about overturning net neutrality, but you threaten to do so, and when you threaten to do so, Google has to lobby you and give you money to stop you from getting rid of net neutrality. So it's basically extortion. It's basically political extortion. And it's possible, for example, that the steel and aluminium tariffs is basically just to yeah, American inertia is to convince Boeing and the auto manufacturers to lobby for the removal of the tariffs. Which is so bad. So like you put in the tariffs for the sole purpose of making people spend money on you to remove the tariffs later on. It is possible that that is what's going on. And I wouldn't put it past the Americans to do some stuff like that. Because like steel and aluminium affects so much manufacturing, so much of the manufacturing that is actually useful for them. Like all the military hardware, SpaceX, as I said, Boeing, all the car manufacturers. Like it affects so many of the industries that the Americans still have an advantage in, like aerospace, is one of the few areas where they still have an advantage. That explanation makes more sense than Trump's political campaign. Yeah, yeah. Like the Americans, they don't have that many advantages left, right? Like all the low tech manufacturing has already shifted off to China and elsewhere. So the few areas that they have an advantage is aerospace. I guess I should ramp down to like this level. Yeah, so military and aerospace, that's right, Wesley, military as well. So military technology and aerospace technology are their, you know, their strengths. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, they're proud of it, but they also spend a lot of money on it. You know, money does count, right? If you spend that many billions of dollars on your military, it better be good. So given how much money they spend, they do have an advantage in military technology. But again, like steel and aluminium impacts on their military production, like, you know, their F-35s and whatnot. They need materials to build their warships and planes and everything. So if they want to keep selling military hardware around the world, you know, they don't want expensive steel. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Heard about the 100 Google employees that quit because they don't want to work on a drone. Yeah, I mean, Google. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's difficult to judge. I probably can't do that. I need to keep going diagonal. Like, what is Google doing? On the one hand, you know, it's kind of hard not to be co-opted into the military-industrial complex. But it seems like a slippery slope, right? Like sometimes people argue, alright, it's better off. Yeah, like there's a lot of arguments, like, oh, like you say, if they don't do it, someone else will, or it's better that we have a seat at the table, then we can have a say into what happens here, as opposed to, you know, us not having any say. But then it's all just a slippery slope to you becoming a mass murderer. It's like, it's just a continuous slope down into producing weapons of mass destruction. You know, if we don't build nuclear bombs, then someone else will. Yeah, yes, but is that really an argument? 2, 3, 4, and 5. Maybe one more. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, and then down. It's, I mean, there's also the argument that, like, a good killer robot is better than a bad killer robot, because a bad killer robot is more likely to just kill everything, whereas a very intelligent AI murderer is more able to discern who to kill and who not to kill. Like if you're gonna kill if you're gonna make a robot that murders people, and no doubt, like the military would justify, or they I mean, I can imagine them justifying, like, we want to make a weapon system that is able to more accurately determine the difference between a civilian and an enemy, and therefore we only kill enemies and we don't kill the civilians anymore. Like if you present it that way, you might even convince Google to do it, right? Oh, let's make this target recognition system that is so accurate that we can reduce collateral damage. You know, like you can frame it in a way that seems reasonable. But again, is it just a slippery slope where you eventually end up being the murderer? So we're gonna have a massive slope down here. I guess we just massive slope. You start there, and then we come down and down and down. And then how do we do this? Across to here? Elevated causeway? Or elevated causeway around the other side? Or straight across the water even? Maybe just straight across the water there. Alright, see you in a bit, Wesley. Yeah. Get to this point. It's gonna be we have to figure out how this is elevated in the future. Let me see where this lines up. Alright, welcome back. That's pretty close. Let me come down to there. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish. You know, in hindsight, maybe I just go straight. Yeah, no, in hindsight, let's just go straight. Let's just change all of this. So straight across, and then continue straight across, and down, end there. So then 3, 4, and 5. This just goes straight up.